Welcome to the Rob Liefeld Show featuring Robservations. I bring over 40 years experience in comic books and entertainment across 5 decades. I offer insights and opinions on the business and the art of comic books and pop culture. If it's happening in games, in movies, in streaming, or comic books, we're covering it right here on the Robservations Show. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Rob Liefeld Show featuring Robservations. We are all the way back from a calamitous, well no, maybe not calamitous, a crazy, chaotic, incredible experience that was San Diego Comic-Con 2025. It was as busy and hectic and a little calamitous as you could possibly imagine. I've been doing this. This was my 44th San Diego Comic-Con, and it was nuts. Most people can relate to this who are in attendance. You are bouncing like a ping pong ball. I mean, you're like in a ping pong machine. I mean, you're just bouncing back and forth from the Hilton, sometimes all the way to the Hyatt. There's the Marriott that's next to the convention center. So if you have never been to the San Diego Comic Convention, right there on the bay is the Hilton, then Hall H, and then all the G go backwards to A. On the other side of A is the Marriott, and then on the other side of the Marriott, you walk about a block and you're at the Hyatt. There are Comic-Con events at all of those. They're at the Hyatt, they're at the Marriott, they're at the giant A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H of the convention center, and then at the Hilton. All the ballrooms are in use. All of the major meeting rooms are holding some sort of panel, some sort of event. There are geek fashion shows. I mean, you name it, they're there. They've got it. They're doing it. And it's crazy. And if you look at your schedule, as I did a couple of days, and you said, oh my gosh, I'm starting at the Hyatt. I'm then moving to the Marriott. Then I'm going to the Hilton. And then I'm going back to the proper giant convention center. I had a blast. If at any point it comes off that I did not have a good time, then I'm not given the right vibes. I had the very best time. It was exactly what I knew it would be. It is a tornado. It is a hurricane. It is a tsunami. I had a few friends who attended for the first time, and they said, Rob, you're not kidding. It's intimidating. It's like overwhelming. Your senses at some point, you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot possibly take in everything around me. Your eyes are trying to take in everything in front to the sides, stuff that you're passing, maybe as you're walking briskly. It was a blast. I saw so many great, amazing people, professionals, friends, met some new friends, met some people that I had not connected their faces to online, from live streams, from Facebook, from X, from Instagram. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I loved seeing you, meeting you, talking with you, hanging with you. It was just the very best of times. And I am so thankful that we were able to hang out together, because what better way, if you love comics, than to spend it with all these people under one roof? There are all manner of people who also I did not see, because it was that absolutely jam-packed. I arrived on a Tuesday. I was there on a Tuesday. It is. I keep pushing it back. I had at one point believed that next year I'd be there on a Monday, but I don't think I could do that. Tuesday is fine. I get there. I get down to San Diego around 3:00. I get into my first wave of rooms because my family is coming. Like so many of you, I extend it to family and friends, and I'm holding those rooms. Different rooms open up each day as I had family flying in, family driving in. So I wanted to secure my rooms, get those taken care of. That in and of itself is a giant wrestling match. And I just, my preference is to get down there Tuesday. Then on Tuesday night, I will reward myself, as many do, visiting Hodad's, the best burger joint I've ever been to. The burgers are enormous. They're gigantic. But let me tell you something. It's this combination, the meat in the hamburger when they give it to you. The patties are very warm, very hot. They're coming off hot. And what they do, and my friends and I have talked about this, but then you've got the cold spread, the cold onions, and the cold tomatoes, and then the toasted buns, And I'm telling you, you put some ketchup, you put some mustard, you do your thing with that, and the combination of the hot and cold and the sensation with the sauces, it's incredible. Okay, and every year I think this is the year I'm going to eat an entire one of these, and I have yet to devour the hamburger. Is the champion. I am always the defeated party. I will stumble back on a Tuesday, maybe hang with a few people who are there already. Uh, like me, they've already kind of established their hub for the weekend, and then Wednesday, it's off to the races. Wednesday, you literally physically can see the people pour into Comic-Con. The last minute preparations are going in the hall for Wednesday night, the preview night that they've been having now. I mean, is it 15 years? Is it longer? Yeah, I think it's about 20 years of the preview night. That was established in the late 90s, early 2000s. That Wednesday preview night is great. It's the time that I do the most of my shopping. I got more Treasury editions. I got more Tony, really nice conditioned Superman, Spider-Mans, but the first two at WonderCon, I got a really nice Whitman edition of Superman Muhammad Ali. That's the kind of stuff that I'm into. My buddy was into it too. It's also the night that I look for all the original art. It's what is here that I'm going to have to take seriously. What am I going to have to consider? I do save for the big. I absolutely 1,000% save for the big spends at the show for the big artwork, whether it's New York or whether it is in San Diego. The big art dealers come with their best stuff, the best covers, the best splash pages, the best promotional pieces. And so, my personal interests run through the stuff that I grew up with, which is mostly the Bronze Age, whether you're going to get into Barry Windsor Smith, whether you're going to talk about Jim Starlin, whether you're going to talk about George Perez, John Byrne, Howard Chaykin. This is all the stuff. Mike Grell, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a body of work. I don't know the exact number, but Jim Starlin penciled and inked my favorite Superman story. It's from DC Comics Presents, and it is with there was a Starman character in the 80s. He had the same mask that Invincible has, the big, like, goggle eyes, and the same exposed hair, except his hair was blonde. But he carried this badass, like, shepherd's staff, and he was this cosmic character, Starman. And Superman and Starman together tackle, confront Mongul, a villain that Jim Starlin created that is very much in the Thanos and Darkseid mold that is confronting Superman and Starman, and it is the best battle I've ever seen in my 30 years, really maybe 35 years of truly hunting down original artwork. I have never seen a single page. I've even asked Jim Starlin. I said, Jim, is it possible? No, Rob. He says, no, Rob, that stuff is long gone. I don't have any of it. But I am always looking because at this point, any page would be an improvement. And I'm just looking for a single page that I would love to partake in. And that particular job, that particular DC Comics Presents body of work has evaded me. I've never seen a single page of the 22 pages that were produced. So it's that kind of stuff I'm always on the lookout. There's always some quirky stuff. But man, each and every one of the major art dealers, and all 5 of them are represented in San Diego with big, giant displays. I mean, some of the biggest displays that they're going to have at any show on any given year, they're going to have at San Diego. We're talking Bashara, we're talking Ramita Man, we're talking Albert Moy, the Donnellys, and anybody else, another one that I forgot, but they are all there with some of their biggest retail space. And it's so great to flip through that art. And even if you don't buy it, and look, obviously there are hundreds upon hundreds of pages that I want that I'm not buying, but I love flipping through and seeing them. For years now, there's a huge body of work of Barry Windsor Smith that I do not partake in, but I love looking at it. And each year I think, man, this is the year I'm going to go for this. But I'm too busy saving for the John Byrne, Terry Austin pages, of which I did obtain one. Happy to talk about it, share with all you guys. I'll be putting it on my socials. You can see it there. It was great. Once I obtain the big whale of the show, I then kind of calm down. But Wednesday night, I'm scoping it. I'm going, I'm checking it out. I'm trying to find like who's got what, where, when, how, why, what's Heritage putting up. They've got some pages from the next auction, Comic Connect, Comic Link. Everybody is there. All the auction houses. Some of them have multiple booths that they're displaying their art with. So Wednesday night, me and my buddies, that's where we're bouncing. We're bouncing around the original art and checking it out and seeing what's coming up and seeing what's available. And also a term because now they in the last 5 years, this if it was used before, it was lost on me for a decade, and I've been paying attention for a very long time. But what's really come into vogue in the last 5 years is the phrase "fresh to market." This is fresh to market. This page is fresh to market. It's never been released from the black hole collection that it's been resting in, so it's fresh to market. So you're seeing what's fresh to market. What of the original art dealers, what pages of theirs are they pulling out from their collection for the first time or have been consigned to them for the first time? So that's a lot of fun. Along the way, like I said, the Treasury Edition, some of the slab books, some of that stuff I absolutely 1000% partake in, and that's fun to share with you guys. And that those are my particular interests. But I don't actually start working the show till Thursday. Some guys, I always look and I go, oh, wow, everybody and their mother, everybody else seems to like work this show. Like they start on a, they're Wednesday night, it's go time. It is 1000% go time. But I'm just not going to start till Thursday. I need Wednesday to shop. Our 16th Super Nobu dinner went off without a hitch. I call it the captains of industry. A bunch of us have been meeting now for 16 years. And it has grown. The last guy tapped into the membership. I think he came around year 5. I brought Mr. Robert Kirkman to the dinner. And he has now been grandfathered in. But the rest of us, guys from FX, some bigwigs from Apple, Mr. Jeff Loeb, the guy who owns and runs Robot Chicken, Matt Seinrich. We've got representation from across all entertainment, big, executives from the networks, from the streamers, as well as myself, Jeff Loeb, Robert Kirkman. And if you could have a microphone at that dinner, wow, your face would peel off. We've never been as honest with each other as we have and bust each other's asses the way we do at this dinner. But that generally goes about 3 hours, and then we all slog up and see the entire comic book universe is gathered at Giardelli's. Okay, Jeremy Adams is always there, from Green Lantern, from Flash Gordon, from Aquaman. Kyle Higgins is a frequent face that I see there. I saw Marat Michaels, my main man, Marat Michaels was there. There are other people I'm completely overlooking. The guy who Michael Uslan, Mr. Batman producer, who got the first movie off the ground. He's always there. Giardelli's, everybody is stuffing their face with their with their ice cream sundaes at 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, just getting that sugar rush before we go into a coma when we get back to our respective hotel rooms. But the dinner this year, I decided I won't show it. I didn't grab it. I didn't bring it. I'll put it probably up on my socials soon. I did a drawing of all of us this year. I have kind of a cartoony style that I've been working in since I was a kid. It's not my serious comic book style, but it's more of a lighthearted kind of a cartoony style. I used to draw my family and my friends and my girlfriends and my wife cards in this style. It's just kind of my go-to, my cutesy style. Okay, I drew a T-shirt of all of us assembled like we're the Justice League, but not in costumes. We're all in our my buddy at Apple. I put an Apple logo on his shirt. I put a Batman signal on Jeff Loeb's shirt. We worked it around. Robert's taller than all of us, so Robert Kirkman's in the back, towering over all of us. It was fun. Was able to gift that to everybody, just show them how much I all totally dig them. That particular Nobu dinner, I now call it the Nobu Nerds, because my family and I were thinking of what should we call this this T-shirt, and we unfortunately came up with the name after the T-shirts were being printed. And shout out to Chase Liefeld, who got his dad out of a bind. Chase has he makes his own shirts. He has his own press, and he was able to rip 7 of these off and get them into my hands before the dinner. And big shout out to Chase for coming through for his pops. But we all came up with the Nou Nerds moniker after the plate had been printed, and they were printing. But those guys, that dinner is a highlight of each and every year. And Eric, Peter, Matt, Loeb, Kirkman, Matt, two Matts. You guys, I mean what I said. Love you guys. Love hanging with you guys. The stories that we share and the times and the laughs are some of the best each and every year. So that was really special. And my wife actually wasn't going to come down until Thursday, but she ended up coming down with Chase on Wednesday. And she knows the rules. That is, I said, babe, okay, He-Man Woman Haters Club is something from the Little Rascals. The actual moniker of He-Man Woman Hater, the He-Man Woman Haters, that was a sign that would hang out in front of the Little Rascals. If you're saying, what is the Little Rascals? You're probably not alone. It was a black and white television show. You could tell me it was made in the 1920s, and I'd believe you. Maybe it was the 1930s, the 40s. It's a really old-timey show with a bunch of little kids called the Little Rascals. Spanky, Alfalfa, Darla, Buckwheat, okay? This is the kids I never, during the summer, when I was 9, 10, 11, 12, I would watch Little Rascals repeats all day long because they were on like Channel 5 out here in Southern California. And they had a clubhouse, the He-Man Woman Haters. No, Darla was not allowed. No other girls. Darla was part of their gang. It's also called Our Gang. Little Rascals, Our Gang. And now I literally just aged myself, because when I was watching it, this stuff was 30 years old. When I was watching it as a kid. So it's way old. So now when I'm referencing it, but I told my wife, I said, babe, I love you. I know you're in town, but you know that Wednesday night at Nobu is the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Like, no girls allowed. It's just guys. It's just our little club. And she understood. Luckily, we have friends in the area who have a yacht, who park it behind the convention center in the bay, in the marina. And my wife is all too happy to skip and just hang out with our friends who moved down to San Diego. And they had an auto dealership, no less. Sold it and have a nice swanky yacht, enjoy and entertains herself on the yacht while I'm with my He-Man Woman Haters Club, the Nou Nerds, and we're having a good time. Thursday, we hit the ground running, and we launched giant size Youngblood #1. I wish I could show you a copy, but I don't have any left. We moved almost each and every copy. They are with my boy Dave, who many of you know from my live streams on Whatnot, and he is finishing up making sure all of the ones that were ordered go out. If there are any left, I'll be sharing them with you guys on my live stream Whatnot, my Whatnot live stream, which is going to be coming to you guys every Wednesday and most Saturdays. And if you don't follow me on Whatnot, get the app, download Whatnot, look for me. I am Rob Liefeld. Follow Rob Liefeld. Get updates when I'm going to be there. We have exclusive comics like this, Giant Size Youngblood. You can only get this if you ordered it off my website when it was offered for a limited time, or when we went live during the show and presented them on the Whatnot live stream. Whatever we have left will be returned to me this evening, and I will have it for our very next Whatnot episode, which should be coming up. Is it the 30th? I think it's going to be the 30th, July 30th. You're probably the same day that you're listening to this. You should join me on the live stream. It's a little unhinged. I'm because all of you, unlike on this show, you're all talking to me simultaneously. The live stream has the interactive feed, so everyone is printing out their comments and talking to me while I'm sharing with you art, custom comics, exclusives, the whole, as my mom would say, kitten caboodle. Okay, we just soup to nuts. We pour it out during that show, and you're all talking back to me the whole time. It takes some sharp mental acuity from this one to really focus. It's hard to focus. And those of you who are rabble rousers who just want to come on and start crap, we block you so faster than you can say Whatnot. We just get rid of you. You're not going to crash our party. We're going to have a good time. So anyway, Whatnot, Rob Liefeld, follow me there. You will have whatever we have left of the giant size Youngbloods that are right now being packed, shipped, and sent to many of you who already took part and ordered them. Giant size Youngblood was a giant hit. We had a giant line. The San Diego Comic-Con security once again had to involve themselves and move our line around because it was upsetting other people. It was blocking other people's booths. They had to put a tape down. They had to get everyone, we had at least at one point 200 people, which at Comic-Con looks even bigger, even more encompassing. But all these people who had placed orders for Youngblood books or who wanted Youngblood exclusives. Also, we brought some of our Deadpool exclusives. Again, this is the kind of stuff that we offer on the Whatnot show. So we had an incredible, each and every day at our booth that we shared with Hot Flips, we were just overwhelmed. You guys bought all of the stock that we brought for the floor, and then we carried some to our Whatnot show. And some of you guys, what happens is some people get really aggressive. They order multiples, and then they say, hey, we want to scale back. So they cancel some of their orders. In case you're wondering, how is he going to have any stock left when we sold out? Well, on the live streams, sometimes people get a little too aggressive, and they'll tell us, Rob, I grabbed 3 of these. I don't want 3. I only want 1. So 2 are then returned to us after the show. So, that's how we come up with some additional stock that we'll be offering with you. But Giant Size Youngblood is a brand new Youngblood story. It reintroduces a team of characters, a group of characters called the New Men, who have not been published by myself in over 25 years. And the New Men are back as a result of this. It very much mirrors some of what happens in Giant Size X-Men #1. It's an homage in that way. It takes place on an island, as Giant Size X-Men #1 did, and introduces some new characters, as this does at the end, because due to certain events, some new characters need to be called upon to come in and help manage the events. And it definitely ends on a giant cliffhanger that runs into the next book in the giant size pantheon that we'll be announcing. But look, I love this stuff. I love making the comics, sharing the comics, and really so much of my life the couple of weeks before the show was producing the comic, assembling the comic, getting the comic book put together with the incredible Russ Wooten, who is the best letterer, designer in the comic book space. I have never seen anybody with his talents and with his ability to just, whether it's the lettering, whether it's the design, whether it's the logos, he's just fantastic. And it is such a delight. He does the Invincible books, Battle Beast. He does a bunch of the Skybound titles. And he's been doing my stuff for many years. He's the best. Getting that book off to the printer, getting the book sent back to us. At one point, it looked like they were going to get sent directly to my hotel, but they made it before I left. So then we distribute them on the floor, get them out there to all of you. It is a tremendous amount of stress because this is a 32-page, brand new, full color comic book, and I was so excited to share it with you guys. And you all were extremely kind and enthusiastic. Many of you guys read it and came back the next day to tell me how much you dug it, and I was so excited that you enjoyed it. But this is the beginning of something new. In case you're wondering, 1,000%. It is a part of the new Youngblood series that is coming out in November. Right before the show, right before San Diego Comic-Con, the Hollywood Reporter broke the news that Daniel Warren Johnson, Kyle Nagu, Eric Gist, E.M. Gist, that we didn't show the Scotty Young cover, but it's incoming. Ryan Otley, Ryan Stegman. We broke all these incredible covers, and the Hollywood Reporter shared them all with you. And one of the things when the Hollywood Reporter said, can we talk to Rob? We'd like to ask him about these direct-to-consumer. And the first question out of Aaron's mouth, he's the reporter, he's a great guy, great journalist, said, Rob, you said that you would share with us how much you have done in regards to these books. And the minute he asked that, look, he's doing his job as a journalist. And I knew the minute that he asked that question would be the headline. It was a no-brainer. I'm like, this is going to be the headline, because I told him that we had done $500,000 in earnings, in sales. A lot of these comic book companies are reporting to you the numbers that they sold, and they're selling these comics for 70 cents on the dollar. There is a popular comic of which the 4th chapter came out that they said, if you match the number of this other book that we did last year, you can have this for 70 cents. Well, if they sold 100,000 copies, they were being paid 70 cents a copy, not a dollar. A dollar a copy gets you $100,000. These are comic book economics 101, and the games that are being played now to get the numbers are next to ridiculous. All that matters at the end of the day is the box office receipts. What numbers were spent? Did they buy an IMAX ticket? Did they buy a PDX ticket? Did they buy a 3D ticket? Those are the numbers that are keeping the studios in business, making big, giant blockbuster movies for all of us. For our purposes, all we're interested in is what the books are making, because then that means we can make more. Then that finance, the money that we are making on Youngblood finances Badrock #1, finances Youngblood Battle Zone, which is a follow-up to a special that we did in the 90s, which showed you the gear and the characters. It's kind of a who's who of the Extreme Universe, in the same way that there was a who's who of the DC Universe or the Handbook of Marvel Comics. It gives you the character and kind of the gear and what they're doing, gives you a good profile of those characters. So the money that we're generating on these books goes in to make more comic books. And so when he asked me, and I said, we've made $500,000 since our launch in April, that became the headline. I wanted the headline to be, look at all these badass creators. Look at these incredible creators that gave of their time. These are the most in-demand, most celebrated, most popular artists in the business. Ryan Stegman, the most popular of the X-Men artists. Ryan Otley, the massive Battle Beast Invincible artist. Daniel Warren Johnson, who single-handedly fueled the resurgence, the sales-busting, chart-topping Transformers relaunch of 2023. We've got Eric Gist, who is doing all manner of covers, including the new Deadpool series, Undeadpool. He did Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, Star Wars. He's done stuff for me. This Youngblood cover that he did, I told my wife when we were giving the files, I said, Hollywood Reporter will use that as the cover that they're going to run, and they did, along with the headline based on the very first question, because I was completely forthcoming to them and told them the amount of money that we'd made. And the book hasn't gone mass market yet. Everything in the mass market will literally be gravy, as Youngblood is already doing phenomenally in regards to direct to consumer. Because right when I was done with the book, as I've shared with you guys on this show, I wanted to get it into people's hands because I wanted it to make the day and date of the 33rd anniversary. And the 33rd anniversary was what I think was April 16th, 17th, whenever I did the signing at Golden Apple, was the exact day that it came out, 33 years to the day at Golden Apple. So I wanted to be able to make it with that book, so I had to offer it direct to consumer to get it into your hands. And it was an overwhelming and absolutely overwhelming success, and I could not be more thrilled that all of you enjoyed your participation in that. And so Giant Size Youngblood follows that exact same model, and it is already off to an incredible amount of success. But Giant Size X-Men happens a few months before the events of Youngblood #1, which is going mass market in November of 2025. So you'll be able to get it if you haven't already gotten it before. But I was so excited that we were able to show those covers. I went on vacation with my wife. We went to Rome, Positano, Amalfi, Athens, and then Santorini in Greece. And when I got on the plane, I had the cover from E.M. Gist. I had the cover from Daniel Warren Johnson. I've been sitting on these for just shy of 2 months. And so I was dying to share them with you all. And I can't believe, Daniel Warren Johnson came to play. He crushed it. And I knew, just like I knew that the Eric Gist one would play itself to the Hollywood trades because it's a really nice painted rendition, I knew for 100% that you guys would all freak out at Daniel Warren Johnson, who, for all intents and purposes, is the most popular artist in comics working right now today. And it is an absolute honor. So right now I'm looking into this camera and I'm saying, thank you, Daniel Warren Johnson. Thank you, Eric Gist. Thank you, Ryan Stegman. Thank you, Ryan Otley. Thank you, Scotty Young. Thank you, Kyle Nagu. Kyle Nagu, I first heard of him when he did a cover for my Snake Eyes Dead Game. And I was like, whoa. It was my favorite cover. His Snake Eyes Dead Game cover was my favorite cover. Then he did a cover to Deadpool Batter Blood 2 years ago. And I'm like, Kyle Nagu just gets better with each and every rendition. And so Kyle stepped up and crushed it for us and gave us a killer. So thank you, Kyle. the Ryans, Daniel, Eric, Scotty, everybody who is contributing these incredible covers. I am so blown away, and there are more on the way, because let me tell you something. No sooner did that story land that a couple guys said, "Why didn't you get me to do a cover? I'll do a cover." And now they're doing covers. So we have even more covers to share with you, because it is exciting. And one of them, I'm not going to say who, but no, I'm going to be honest. A pair of them, two of them said, "Rob, Youngblood changed my life. It was a game-changing cover for me, a game-changing comic book when it came out 33 years ago. I was a kid. It was one of my first comics that I had ever purchased. I was so excited. I was welcomed into this new universe because Youngblood launched Image Comics. And so that is a special sweet spot. We're super proud of it. And we're super excited that you guys were able to see those covers, and you'll be able to be part of that celebration when those go mass market in November. So thank you. So I was able to ride that momentum into the show with Giant Size Youngblood, and we're going to be putting more Giant Size Youngbloods on my website, doing fifth and sixth printings of these books, since the first four printings already we blew out. We had a Thursday, we had a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday edition, and they all blew out. And so we're going to keep those coming for you guys, because Giant Size Youngblood is not going to be mass marketed until well into 2026. It won't be out till spring 2026 at the earliest. So we're going to continue to make that available to you. And so look at my website, Rob Liefeld Creations. RobLiefeldCreations.com is my website of the last 20 years. So go there. That's where those offers will be made. Youngblood number 2, a very limited special direct edition, is going to be shipping out in August. So if you want to be part of that, jump over there. Look, this has been the focus of my entire spring and summer, and getting these books to you at San Diego was a giant, was the fulfillment of a big mission for me. Because guys, guess what? I love making comics. I love telling stories. I don't want to do just variant covers for the rest of my life. I want to do panel to panel sequential art, tell you stories, give you character interaction, consequences, stakes. And I am so thankful that so many of you are just so supportive and so into it. And again, if I'm going to say thank you to all those cover artists, I'm going to say thank you to you right here, right now, wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching. Thank you for all of the support, whether you gave it to me on X-Force, New Mutants, Captain America, Deadpool Core, all the Deadpool stuff I did, and now back on Youngblood and all my Extreme titles. Thank you so very much. Let me tell you something. A lot of news was coming out of San Diego. We're going to continue to kind of take different bites at that San Diego apple over the next few shows. But one of the big things that was coming out, that was something that was on it was the buzz of the show, was this giant overhaul of the X-Men office. Now, it was made public about a week before the show, and I believe they're calling it Age of Revelation. Is that what it's called? It's Age of Revelation. I've got my glasses on, my crooked glasses. I think they're a little bit crooked, but here it is. The Age of Revelation. Yes, that's it. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll read that in a minute. Age of Revelation was announced. Now, here's the funny thing. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, more than 5 different X-Men creators came by my table, came by where I was appearing and signing and sharing all my books throughout the weekend. And they're like, "Rob, it's like you're in the room. Your commentary on your show, you are spot on about the X-Men, all of it. I listened to it, and this is the different creators of the different X-Men books were very enthusiastic in sharing to me how well I've read the room." And what I've said on the show before is I believe they mixed and matched the creative teams poorly. I'm just going to get right to this. The X-Men, woohoo, there they are right there. The X-Men, as I've shared with you, that I have the most investment of any property. Okay, we have another family friend who has a giant fashion business, and his clothes were in every department store for the last 40 years. And to say that he is uber wealthy is an understatement. And when I tell you that he has in Newport Beach about 5 different dealerships, and we're talking Jaguar, we're talking Mercedes, we're talking the high-end muscle sports cars, like the expensive stuff, in addition to his fashion empire, in addition to his multiple incredible properties. What he has is a subterranean garage of the finest sports cars. He is a car connoisseur, a car collector. I am not a car connoisseur. I am not a car collector. I am an art connoisseur. I am an art collector. And my fine arts would probably equal 2 of his 12, showroom cars that he has in his subterranean showroom in his home. My artwork does not quite cover the amount of specialty collectible cars. Does Jay Leno buy some of his cars? Yes. Do some of these high-end Hollywood people come and try and take the cars off this gentleman's hands? They do. So my artwork is not in that same realm, but that's what I've invested in. He buys cars, I buy comic book art. The X-Men is where my millions of investments have gone. Now, when I tell you that I have millions of dollars invested in the X-Men, in my collection, in my graded books, my signed #1, all of my original pages, including the pages that I obtained at San Diego, this is the creme de la creme. And the stuff that I'm buying, the Wolverine claws popping, Storm, with her arms extended, blasting people with her weather, Cyclops blasting people, the Beast, Angel, everybody, it's macho. The X-Men are macho. They were beloved because of their macho energy. Colossus, macho punches. Wolverine, macho slices. Storm, macho storm powers. Cyclops, macho blasts. Okay? Macho, macho, macho. The relaunch that Marvel came about last summer with was lacking in the macho department. It was lacking. They mixed it up. I've said it again. I'll say it a million times. Wolverine should have been drawn by Ryan Stegman, the macho of the macho artists in the X-Men. He's got the sharp commercial style, the commercial instincts. He draws the best gritted teeth, angry dudes. His Cyclops eating cereal is macho, okay? The fact that they didn't put Wolverine in his book is batshit crazy. They canceled a bunch of these X-Men books, and that became kind of the rallying call of the spring. Like why are they canceling all the X-Men books? Because to quote one of the creators, they can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Guys on the floor said, Rob, the launch got off to such a stumble, and it just didn't land with the fans, that we are now seeing the result of that lackluster launch, and we are now in the reboot. We are in the official reboot. They gave retailers a surprise comic book drawn by Humberto Ramos, which was the first salvo fired in this age of revelation to get the retailers excited. When they are creating a surprise drop that they gave you no notice of, and part of the hype is, look, it's a surprise. That means they have recognized that they have made mistakes, that they misread the room, that they are in a course correction because they want to shock and awe you into the new direction. We are in the new direction. The new direction is the age of revelation. If this is your first time hearing about the age of revelation, here is how Marvel puts it. Today at the Marvel Comics panel in San Diego Comic-Con, fans learned more about the Age of Revelation, the next milestone X-Men saga. The creators in attendance shed light on this monumental epic, launching in October with first looks, cover reveals, and insights. Doug Ramsey was chosen as the heir of Apocalypse. When Cyclops X-Men welcomes him into their ranks, everything goes wrong. Age of Revelation takes place 10 years into the future, where Doug's twisted vision of survival of the fittest creates a world where only mutants are fit to survive. He and his choristers hold power in the Revelation territories, a new mutant utopia, while the rest of the Earth is transformed and ravaged by the mysterious X virus. But the cracks are beginning to show, and the lie that this land was built on stirs the flames of rebellion. Across all new titles, see what became of your favorite X-Men and superheroes as the Age of Revelation's far-reaching impact reshapes the Marvel Universe, really reshapes the X-Men. It says the upcoming titles being released in November are not shown here. Binary and Rogue Storm, those covers will be revealed at a later date. Here are 14 of the 16. You didn't that I didn't stutter. I did not misspeak. 14 of the 16 Age of Revelation titles. There is the cover to Amazing X-Men 2. There is the cover to Unbreakable X-Men 2 that they showed you. There is the cover to an Expatriate X-Men number 2. X-Men Book of Revelation, Cloak or Dagger, Iron and Frost, The Last Wolverine, Laura Kinney Sabretooth, Long Shots, Omega Kids, Radioactive Spider-Man, Sinister Six, Undeadpool, X-Avengers, and what wasn't shown was Binary and Rogue Storm. Those are the number 2 covers that they showed. Marvel is launching 16 new number 1s. That's how you know that the quotaverse is in full thrust, okay? The quotaverse is what we've talked about very openly, very honestly. We're going to talk about it openly, honestly, always. The quotaverse demands that Marvel make a certain amount of money and hit certain earnings that they're publishing each and every month. What Marvel is having a hard time is holding on to readers into the issues 3, 4, 5, 6 across the board, with few exceptions. Maybe being Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther. Those are the books that seem to be holding the best for them. But the X-Men books cratered very quickly. All manner of cancellations were announced. Creators were super disappointed. Some of those are the creators that talked to me and like, I can't believe we thought we were going to have this great time and do this great stuff. And some of these, look, one of the books that got canceled had Cable, Deadpool, and Wolverine on the same team, and it was canceled with 5 issues. 16 new number 1s is overkill. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're a Spider-Man book, a Batman book, a Wonder Woman, a Superman, Justice League, or an X-Men title. It's overkill. And Marvel's doing it because they have to. The quotaverse demands it. Marvel's Burbank bosses want those publishing numbers to be strong. And they've been struggling. So one of the reasons that you're getting 16 new number 1s is because they need the money that those 16 new number 1s will make them, which is at minimum going to be better than the number 2s, the number 3s, the number 4s, the number 5s that are available in October. You're getting 16 new number 1s. What's going to happen is the books that perform the best are going to reshape and be the ones that they reframe the universe with. They're going to look to you. Now, there's no way there's just no possible way, and this is being reflected throughout the social media. This is the stuff you read on X, on Facebook. I'm a part of a bunch of different X-Men families. All of this different, all the different opinions that are coming in on this agree that they just don't have the creative horses. That's the kindest way of putting it, to pull off 16 books. They're going to have that level of quality. When they did Age of Apocalypse in the 90s, you had Joe Mad, who was the most popular guy in the business. You had the Kubert brothers, who had been doing the X-Men for several years, superstar creators. You had Chris Pacello, who had come over from DC with the Sandman, with the Dream stuff, and boom. Now he's doing Generation X. Now he is participating in the X-Men books. They had no less than 4 superstar artists that were heading the charge, and they did not have 16 comic book titles. What Marvel doesn't have is a lot of familiar talent, a lot of guys that you're used to buying into. Not on the writing end, not on the drawing end. That's just a fact. That's not a criticism. Some of these people may blossom into tomorrow's greatest creators, but at this point they are not. And what the comic retailers want are books that they can sell. And whatever store that you're going into, and we're going to get to DC in a second, because DC they have flipped the script. In 1 year's time, they have become the trendsetter. They have become the major player in the business. They are the blue chip performer among the comic book publishers. It's not just Superman that is beating Fantastic Four at the box office. You've got Absolute Batman, which is topping all other comic books from Marvel and DC. And we're like I said, I'm gonna pivot to that real quickly. But 16 new X-Men number 1s is meant to shock and awe and somewhat overwhelm. And I'm not sure what level of incentives that they're putting into these books in order to ensure that the retailers take some small bite of each of them. But the quotaverse demands that these books exist, and they're going to hope that maybe 50% of them stick. I don't think 50% of them will stick. I wish every single one of them the best of luck. But one of the reasons that Absolute Batman is doing so well is because Scott Snyder has proven himself to be, after Frank Miller, the generational Batman guy. Okay, who knew that his Nick Dragotta work would eclipse all of his other Batman work? Just be the new high bar. But that's what's happened. And the retailers, they want the familiar names. They want the big creators, and so the guy who's the biggest name on these is only doing the bookends, and that is the aforementioned Ryan Stegman, the most commercial artist in the X-Men sandbox, is giving you the bookends. Those are the ones that I'm excited about. Those are the ones that I'm most excited. He is getting to play, the role of kind of the guy who's swinging open the gates and introducing you to the major crucial points of the storyline as it's introduced. And they were really smart to get Ryan to be on that very first book. That is the best hope that this crossover has. So he's not doing any of these individual spinoffs, but he is doing the proper Age of Revelation kickoff title when that arrives. So that is a good call. Ryan is the best of the bunch. Ryan was the premier Venom guy for years, and then I understand why they took a risk giving him the book without Wolverine, but I don't think I do not believe that in the overview of how it was handled that they would do that again. You got to give him the Wolverine book. You've got to give the book the character that the fans love the most, which is Wolverine, to the guy who can produce him the best, which is Ryan. He's showing you as Wolverine is at the forefront of his opening chapter, kind of the alpha, whether they're calling them alpha and omega, whatever the bookends are called, but Wolverine seems to be in a brand new design, kind of a cool design, with what appears to be the outward skeleton being worn as a mask. Very cool, very manga, very anime to my eyes. I think that is going to connect. I don't know that there's enough juice in that book to carry 16 books. We're going to wish him a good luck. We're going to wish him good luck. We're going to check in when those books launch and go back. But that was certainly the biggest movement that Marvel is making, and the one that they wanted to promote the most. They're revisiting stuff like Annihilation. They're revisiting Planet Hulk with new twists and modern teams. And I'm not sure that is what the market is demanding at this time, but that is what they are set to give you. So we will check back in as Marvel gets these books ready for fall. You've got DC and Marvel both doing the Deadpool Batman crossover that's hitting here. I think one is hitting in September, one maybe later. I think the DC one is coming later, but I know the Marvel one is coming, I believe, in late September. I am looking forward to that. Of course, as the creator of Deadpool, I want to see exactly how that plays out. I'm sure that will be a source of some discussion once that hits here on the show. That'll be fun to kind of examine that. But I mentioned what was going on with DC, and I want to lean a little more into that. All of my retail buddies, and there is one giant retailer that when it comes to San Diego, he is the giant retailer. He has 2 giant islands in San Diego. And so many of you told me, hey, Rob, I went and said hi to Jimmy J. The J Company booth, they've been there for 30 years. That they are stocked with today's hottest books. Jimmy J had the foresight prior to the show to say, Rob, I ordered 100 Supergirl trade paperbacks a few weeks back, not even knowing that she was going to stumble into the end of Superman to great acclaim, of which she did. I have yet to see the movie, and I've seen it 3 times, where the crowd doesn't roar when Supergirl stumbles into view and reclaims Krypto and is funny and hilarious, and we certainly don't get enough of her. And that movie is going to be gigantic. You haven't even seen Jason Momoa as Lobo yet, and that is going to blow you away. So I'm really impressed with the breadcrumbs and the execution of what James Gunn has given us as fans, and I think Supergirl is going to be a monster. The fact that Lobo is in it alongside Supergirl, I'm assuming Krypto is a part of that. Oh my gosh, I think it's going to be gigantic. And so Jimmy J he has great instincts. He has great retail just radar. And he was ready. He knew that Absolute Batman would be the hottest book of the show, along with the Supergirl trades. I mean, you guys, 100 trades is a lot. I believe he blew out of all of them. I believe Jimmy has no more Supergirl trades. He came ready to play. When other people didn't have them, they ran to his table looking to purchase them from him. He has 2 prime locations on prime aisles in the comic book retail sector of Comic-Con. He told me, Rob, Absolute Batman is all the rage. It is the #1 book, not only for DC Comics, but in the entire industry. The first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, whatever print. I know there's 10. I know there's at least 10 printings of #1. We're blowing out. He said, there is no amount of money that people will spend to complete their collection or to get the missing issue or to even just participate. I am kind enough to have first printings of Absolute Batman that Jimmy secured for me when it was launched, I believe last October. And I'm happy to say I check in with him all the time. I'm like, what's that worth now? $100? Like, that's a book from a year ago that is going for some big bucks, and the foils and all the different first editions. Here's the thing with Batman that's going on right now. Absolute Batman is clicked in such a way that here's the parallel that I draw it to. What's the Batman that people are asking about cinematically 24/7? Where's the script? When's it going to start shooting? It's the Robert Pattinson Batman, okay? The Robert Pattinson Batman is the one that was offered to the public 3 years ago, the one that they consumed, the one that they carried to the biggest box office in recent recent history for Batman, especially for DC Comics. Superman, I'm not sure that Superman can clear that bar. Maybe it can, but Batman globally did extremely well for them. And just like the very first Christian Bale Batman, Batman Returns, it kind of set the table and wetted everyone's whistle for what's to come in and the other 2 sequels to Batman Returns, which Christian Bale featured in, were double, triple the box office of Batman Returns. Because Batman Returns made it out just as The Batman with Robert Pattinson did to our home theaters, our streaming services, and the people who didn't get to catch it in theaters caught it and went, wow, I really like this. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz. Okay. When you're bringing any other Batman into the mix right now, it's like Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck. Okay. We had fun with them, but we don't want them right now. Not as much as we want this. They're fun. We'll interact with them. If they're in the Flash or if they walk through a movie, okay, that's interesting. But what the public wants, they voted, they want Robert Pattinson in the same way that they want Absolute Batman above all else. Absolute Batman got there first. It was fresh. It's new. It's a different Batman. I read a story where Daniel Warren Johnson and Nick Dragotta, both Daniel's done covers. Nick Dragotta is obviously the dedicated regular artist on Absolute Batman that is rocking your world with his storytelling and his graphics. People are excited about that version of Batman because he's big and brawny. That's what they said. Daniel Warren Johnson and Nick Dragotta gave interviews where, like, I'm telling you, people like that he's so big and violent and brutal and so physical. That's the Batman of choice. Just like Robert Pattinson is the cinematic Batman of choice right now, and bringing back Ben Affleck or George Clooney or Michael Keaton is not going to catch the same vibes. No matter what production values, no matter how much you try and game the system, the people have spoken. They want Absolute Batman. The retailers will tell you this. I did a roundtable. I'm not sure if it's up yet. I did a roundtable with Heidi McDonald and The Beat. Maybe that episode is up right now. I haven't seen it. But other panelists weighed in and said, look, DC's not just winning at the movies. DC's winning in publishing. And they pronounced Absolute Batman is the hottest comic book on that floor. I can attest from my retail friends. My retail friends, Jimmy J, I want him to do well. I want his booths to do well. Those are big, expensive booths with incredible real estate on the floor. Guess what? He did great. Jimmy always does great because he comes with the stuff that people want. He game plans. He thinks the game. And he made sure that he had plenty of Absolute Superman, plenty of Absolute Batman, and plenty of Supergirl, because that's where the appetites are right now. So DC is killing it. It's in any store you go to. When I go and I visit the stores, as I have recently, they tell me, Rob, DC flipped the script. DC organically has people seeking out their titles, digging them, and they have maintained that very much. That Marvel is playing catch up to DC right now. That's just the lay of the land, and that's how it goes. This is the conclusion of our first part of Comic-Con wrap-up. We're going to get to more stuff. We're going to get into the cinematic stuff, some of the stuff that was talked about, some of the newsworthy items. But I wanted to just connect with you fresh out of Comic-Con. I was knocked on my keister. I was so tired. I couldn't make it to a microphone, much less look into this camera. But here we are. This is what we do. We're going to continue talking. You've got Marvel's plans. You've got DC's success. Thank you for listening. As always, thank you for supporting my work. When I am not doing this, when I am not looking into this camera, recording this podcast for you, I am all over social media, beginning with X. I am at Robert Liefeld, RobertLiefeld. Blue check mark signifies it. I am the real deal. I am the genuine article. I am the one reading your replies, your mentions, talking to you. Thank you so much for interacting with me over on X at Robert Liefeld. On Instagram, I am at Rob Liefeld. Got that easy comic book version of my name. Another blue check signifies it's really me. Thank you for following me. Thank you for interacting with me. I'll be continuing to show you preview pictures of my art, my projects, my family, my friends, the stuff that I'm doing, eating, traveling. Just it's like my visual diary. That's how I use it. It doesn't have really a rhyme or reason. It's certainly not meant for some brilliant commercial use. It's scattershot at best, but it's who I am. At Rob Liefeld is where I'm at Instagram. On Facebook, we have a group. It's called Rob Liefeld Marvel Extreme and Beyond. It covers the majority of my work, my interests. We talk comics 24/7. I check in all day, every day. Rob Liefeld Marvel Extreme and Beyond. It's a group. It's on Facebook. Myself and a gentleman named Terry Sala, Sala. He is my co-administrator. One of us will click you on through. We would love to see you and hang with you. We have great art contests. Tremendous talent is making their way through that group and showing us so much of the incredible drawings and illustrations that they do. Every episode of this show is given a dedicated post if you want to talk about it, if you want to discuss it. We just have a great time. It's like my virtual living room. I invite you to come on in, kick back on the couch. Just please don't put your cigarettes out on the carpet and don't spill your beer, okay? That's all we ask. Rob Liefeld, Marvel Extreme and Beyond on Facebook. I've already covered my Whatnot, my live streams, my website, Rob Liefeld Creations over on Whatnot. I'm Rob Liefeld. Follow me there. I would love to see you at any of these social media destinations, platforms, and interact with you. It is so fun. I am reading your mentions, your replies, your comments, talking back to you. Just thank you so much. I love the community that we've built. We're going to get, next time, we'll talk about other comic book news, the panel, some other great interactions that I had, as well as whatever's going on in this incredible work of comic books and pop culture. I hope that you are doing well. At the end of each and every single episode, at the end of each and every single episode, I just want to reach out and let you know that it is my hope that your mental, your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual well-being are exactly where you need it to be. I hope you are doing well. If you are having a difficult time with the grind of life, get off the hamster wheel. I do. I've done it. Go for a long walk. Go for a drive. Go grab some ice cream. Get a bite to eat. Reconnect with some friends. Get on the phone with family. Get a coffee with a loved one, with somebody who you just want to hang out with for an hour. Read a book. Watch a great streaming series. Watch a documentary. Whatever it takes to change the gear, to reboot you, maybe to distract you. We all need some distractions in life because the grind is real. It really can just beat us down. And I'm with you. I got 3 kids. I got a family. I'm trying to be a good husband, a good father, a good friend, all at the same time, and be a professional and meet my professional commitments. So I'm with you. I understand it. I just wish for you all the very best. I hope that you can get the distraction, get the rejuvenation that you seek. Enjoy the summer. We're heading into the last 5 weeks of summer. It is my favorite time of year. I love the long days. This is the magic time of the year to me. No other season connects with me like summer. It's been that way my entire life. Not spring, not fall, definitely not winter. Okay, so I'm rooting for you. Boom, 2 fist bumps into this Blue Yeti microphone, wishing you all the very best. Do not leave me here. Come back, see me. I'm going to be waiting right out there for you. because we are most definitely, absolutely, inevitably, we are going to talk again real soon.